Welcome, everyone. We're getting ready to start here just very shortly. Just kind of giving people time to get on so we can get started with everything. Got a big stream planned for you guys tonight. How's everyone doing? If you guys are watching, go ahead and post in the chat here. We want to get some feedback and all that going on here. So what's going on there, Loco? How's it going, man? Just getting ready to do this big stream. We're gonna do some showdown prep. Gonna do some classroom talk as well. Gonna go over some stuff for the faction contest, how you can score, people you can use, that kind of stuff. That's what we're gonna do tonight. Gonna be a really good stream. Is what I'm really looking forward to. Alrighty, so we're going to get started here. Let me pull up my one thing here. Alrighty, guys, so welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stitch says hello. We're here. We're going to do some stuff, some little bit different things tonight and how we kind of got this planned with, what I'm really wanting to do today. So we're going to do the builds. I've got a couple of superstars that I think are free to play that'd be really good, especially one with the new skill plates. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through tours. We're going to look at builds for Showdown tomorrow to maximize your faction contest points, your solo contest points, that kind of thing. And then I've got 4 superstars, 2 males, 2 females, a free to play that we can make, really good free to play, but really good premium. And then any other questions you guys have, any other superstars you guys want to see, don't be afraid to type in the comments. Ask away. But let's get started with the tours, because I know there's been some talk about how hard they are today and all that, especially that Powerhouse Hogan in that WrestleMania 2 main event. So let's get looking at it. So let's start here with the King Kong Legends Tour. Now, with this, there are a couple people you can use. Jesse the Body is going to be your free-to-play guy. Lou Albano. The Andre that has eluded me. And then the one that has completely eluded me. What's going on, Three Angles? The one who has completely eluded me and moved. I am 3 shards short of him. But we're going to take a look here. So I'm going to start it with the free-to-play option. Okay, now everyone has Jesse the Body Ventura. If you don't, you were sleeping under a rock during that event. He came out, brand new out. We're going to look at the movesets here. So, couple different movesets I think you could run here. That'd be really helpful. The first one is triple yellow. I do like the Protect Gems ones on this one. I think it works really well. Okay? Could stop some damage really quick. Throw that in there with some coaches and trainers. I think it works really well. Another moveset that I think you could really get some traction with would be blue, blue, purple. Especially with the new skill plate. I don't know how many of you guys have seen that, but especially with the new skill plate, it's very interesting as far as what we're looking at now with everything. So, we're going to go through both movesets here. I did have him set up more for when we had his event. So I am going to go through the coaches and trainers here. So obviously the first thing I'm going to want to do is probably load up the purple moveset. So remembering that if your tour perks are up, you can get a little bit of help here. So I'm going to do this with two different MPs. Knowing I'll be turn 1 with my perks up kind of helps this out. So Jerry Lawler, and then you're going to want to run Woods. That's going to be your biggest help there when it comes to that. Now, you have two different options here that when you're running this. You can run it under purple gem damage. If you're free to play and that's what you got, hey, I get it, go that route, right? However, I would want to see the reinforced gem. So the first one I'm looking at is Hall of Fame Yoko. Reinforced to 100%. I believe it goes up to 150. And then, only because I can do this, I think, and I'm just going to make sure, I am going to go ahead and run Z Brett for the purple gems. I know a lot of people don't have him. You can run a bunch of people in that sense for the purple gem damage. Now, I'm going to double check this real quick because I think I'm right. Yep, 100% is his max. So, this is how I'm going to run Jesse the Body for this. Not going to put a belt on him yet. Not going to really build a belt yet. This is just more to show everyone what you can do with your free-to-play guy that I know everyone got. Now, whether, he is a good person to bring up, especially with these new skill plates. I think they kind of brought it to him. Now, obviously, this is probably going to beat him right there. But then you can reforce your reinforced gems and then do all that. So we'll go through another match here. One guy I wouldn't recommend using is Captain Lou. I don't like him at all. The black reinforced. We're going to find out what I'm going to get. I'm hoping for yellow, red, or purple. If I can get purple, I'll probably bring Jesse the Body up. Honestly. If I can get the purple one. I don't know which one I'll get yet. I've kind of saved the torch for this stream. So it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. Let's go into hard mode here. Yeah, I mean, the black, I'd have to look at who does black reinforcement. The first one that comes on my mind is Rex Regum. But I'm not even 100% sure on him if his is reinforcement or not. So he's the first one that comes to mind. Maybe, I know Ilya does green. That's a tough one because you really have to look. Tell you what, Three Angles, we'll take a look at that during the stream for you, okay? See who it could be, because I'm kind of wondering that too. But I feel like there is someone out there. I just can't put my finger on who it is right off the top of my head. No, it's not. I'll look. Like I said, I'll look here. I have an idea of who it could be. What's going on, Dominating? Maybe Dominating will know. Black reinforced gems dominated. Is there anyone you can think of that just screams that off the top of your head? Because I am trying to figure that out. Yeah, black gems. Because I'm trying to think off the top of my head who does black. I know green, yellow, red, purple. I don't know about black gems though. Alright, so now that you got this is how you're going to run Jesse here. We're just going to make a simplified run. That's what I'm thinking, but I can't remember. I know there's someone, man. I just can't remember who it could be. So this will be base damage here without the belt really thrown in. And that's a 13 million hit at 5 silver. So Jesse the Body's another one of those that I think you can do really well, especially with this. If you can get that purple skill plate, I think he's someone you could bring up really easily, really quick. And I think the way I'm running him is the best way to do it. I think it is going to be that blue, blue, purple. Because of how easy it is. Like I said, we will look at that during this stream, okay? That is something I promise you we will look at to see who does that, because I am kind of intrigued on that one. You're not the only one who's asked that question. I mean, Jesse the Body hitting for 12 million at silver with this setup, pretty nasty. Probably scales really well as we go up too. So it's something I'm definitely going to take a look at with him. Again, another guy on that free to play spectrum that I think you could do really well with if you wanted to. So while we're talking about it, let's go in here because this is going to be, I think, the craziest thing we're going to do here. And that's Powerhouse Hogan against this. Now, I run Powerhouse Hogan black, black, red. First of all, does everyone have Powerhouse Hogan? I guess that would be the question I would have to ask first. Now, with Powerhouse Hogan, this is going to be more of a premium build than anything. Judgment Day JD would be really good. What's going on there, Billy? Me personally, I'm going to run Sherry here. I'm also going to run Memrock And then gems generate. You want to throw out more red gems there. Z Bel Air. So this is about as premium gets here, guys. I'm not going to lie on this one. Now, because this is a Match is going to throw this 150 on them. Because this is a what's the word I'm looking for? Because this is a survival match, you really want to load up on armor 2 medals. There's no other way around it. Because it is a survival match, you want to load up on armor 2 medals, especially if your Hogan is not that strong. I'm loaded up on mine just because he is not that strong. And you just kind of want to take this as much as you can. You want to take as many hits as you can at the end of the day. Especially against this King Kong Bundy. Because you're talking 10 turns we're going to have to fight through here. And we're through 8, and he's already hit me pretty good. You got the purple. Jesse the Body, Billy, is actually someone I would recommend that on. Surprisingly. And I just went through the tours with him. And again, we're not trying. It's not about pinning in these survival tours. It's literally about surviving. You know, that is the guy who has eluded me. He has eluded me for so long, I'm over it. He's eluded me so long, I'm probably going to grab his shards this weekend. Because he's one I want. So desperately. So those armor 2s help you there. We're going to see what I actually get here. I got the purple one. I got the purple reinforced gem. So that just adds Jesse the Body to me going up, and I'm more than okay with that. So let's go in here. Now that we have this, and since Billy is on, I do want to show how this could work here. Luckily, I already have a title out on him. Let's go the 100% gem damage belt. Let's reinforce this. Go back here, edit this. We'll go here. And then since I'm doing purple gems, purple and blue, kind of just looking for the right plate here that I want to run. It's on the top of my head. I just can't think of which plate it is. It's on the top of my head right here, but I can't think of which plate it is. The birthday plate would be so nice, but I don't have that one. I don't think there's an offensive plate here that I would really want to use. Yeah, it's not really an offensive plate here. But now I'm going to load this up just so we can show you guys why I think Jesse the Body is someone you can use here. And I'm going to load it up with Armor 2 medals. So, Billy, this is why I think you're going to be able to do some stuff with this. Especially with that plate. Get in here and I'll show you here. Because he was doing 12 million before. So, we've activated the plate here. So that's 100%. Then I'm just going to do enough to reactivate this. Okay? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to re-hit this or anything like that. So this will be 200% right here. So now we've activated it 200%. We're going to do so much damage per. So it's 10 million per. 10 million on the per. And then we're going to hit the purple gems. So it goes up to 13 million at silver. Now, once I get him to gold, that'll probably be a 30, 40 million hit. All right. So a very easy setup for him, I think. Now, before we go on an ad break, let me just kind of look here. Black reinforcements. Ooh. I have him at 5 silver. He does X-break, reinforcement, reinforcement, reinforcement. That's row break. Black reinforcement. Not going to be KO. KO does immobile. I am coming up stump on black reinforcement. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna look something up here. Maxine be really good. No, there's no way. Oh, Lashley Loomis, maybe? I'm gonna be honest with you, Three Angles. I would there, Billy. I'm gonna be honest with you, Three Angles. I'm not for sure who does black reinforcement, honestly. Even looking at it, just off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. He does it mobile. Um, Triple H does yellow reinforcement. Dirty Dom is all power gems. X break. Three Angles, I do not. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I do not think there's anyone that does that at all. At all. So I'm not for sure. I'm gonna run an ad real quick. We'll be right back. I'm gonna do some hunting. All right, guys, we're back. Nuganator, one of the things I'm looking at with Jesse is, at least for me, I'm always looking, to bring up a class of each era. And I just don't feel, I like Shogo KO, but I just feel like Jesse kind of fits a little bit better in the new meta. So that's someone who now, after getting that one, I'm going to really use it on. I'm really hoping to get the green one this weekend for Maxime. Because, as many reversals as there are for Showboat Flare now, I feel like I need a different Showboat, and Maxime would be that for me. All right, let's do some more tours here, and then we'll get into some showdown breakdowns and who you can use and all that. And then we'll get into some free to play things. So this one, you need a powerhouse or a striker. It's got to be an attitude era. Um, Again, guys, if you're looking at it from this point, Big Papa Pump's always going to be a good idea. Um, I'm going to go with Austin again, just because I know you can get a good win with him. He's easy, free to play. I like the sub bleed on him a lot. Yeah, he's not turn one here for me, which kind of is my fault more than anything. And this doesn't work. I'll just pull out Big Papa Pump and just go to work. That is someone who I do thoroughly enjoys my Big Papa Pump at the end of the day. I don't know how everyone else feels about Big Papa Pump, but he is one I do enjoy a lot. Now we're going to bleed him. Want to make sure he doesn't have a sub here. You know, I've I've looked at Big Red Machine Kane uh, a lot here lately. He's just not someone I'm really gung ho about for that powerhouse attitude era. A lot of it for me is having Big Papa Pump. Sometimes I just, don't work on some of those other guys just because of that reasoning. Farouk's always a good option. I have him. I haven't really worked him up. I have Bradshaw and haven't really worked him up. Those are two guys that honestly I'm a little underwhelmed with. Honestly, thought they'd actually be better than what they are. I feel like this Bundy is gonna be someone that can be beat. Yeah, Kane does. I know Kane does, and that's kind of the other thing you got to look at too is your moments. Kane has a lot of moments with them. It's more along the lines. I don't know if I want to put the resources into him right now, kind of thing. When it comes to my powerhouse class, I'm a little. What's the word I'm looking for here? I have a lot in my powerhouse. I have a lot of powerhouses anyway. So, yeah, I mean that again. I personally don't feel like Titan plates are that hard to come by anymore. But I have a project I'm working on for Powerhouse anyway. That's kind of um, taken away from like a Kane or Farouk, if we really want to be honest there. So that's another big thing for me anyway, is just that mindset. So this is any division here. Um, and I'll show you guys who I'm actually working with on that, because I do feel like people don't understand it as much. We'll save that for later. So the one I'm actually working on here for a powerhouse, and I think she's a sleeper, in my opinion. Brie Mode Brie Bella. Get you that reality era if you don't want to use Charlotte with all that. Mick Foley, I don't think he's that good, honestly. I think there's better out there. So Brie Bella to me is one who I am working up on the powerhouse end with the Titan plate. I'm actually just going to go ahead and move it over now just because I can. If I can find my Titan plates. Hall of Fame Scott Hall, not a big fan of him at all. Feel like he's one that hasn't aged well at all. Where are my Titan plates? There it is. So Brie Bella to me, I think she's someone. Yeah, I know it helps. I just still don't think it's great. So Brie Bella to me is the one that I'm looking at as someone who I think could. I don't think she got a rework. I think she's just quietly one of those people that you can use because of how you can play it, if you really want to be honest. I can play it two different ways. You could run it red finisher or red black. But with 28 gems into blast gems, that's one that with a Titan plate just screams could be nasty at the end of the day. And again, she gives you that reality error if you don't want to use Charlotte. And that's where I think you've got to really look at it from too. This is kind of just something I've been keeping in my back pocket for a minute. You know, with some minor testing, waiting on a belt, that kind of thing. And that's something that, you know, I've been looking at a lot with it here lately. Like I said, just one I've kind of kept in my back pocket. Give me 1 second. So that is someone I have looked at. I don't know if she got a rework per se, but I know she's someone who could be nasty, especially if you don't want to use that showboat flare, which I know a lot of people don't necessarily want to because of Tiffany. Yeah, we all look. I have my one sleeper that I will never show. I will never show my one sleeper just because. I don't think I need to show it. We all have our sleepers. But you were asking about powerhouses. If you really want to be honest, I mean, Zeke Cody's really good. Highlander Cody's really good. Hall of Fame Taker can be deadly under the right circumstances. I really like Legends Era Roman. JD, really good. The new Boss Man is really, really good. So, I mean, there's all kinds of sleepers out there in the powerhouse class that I feel like anyone can bring up. Hopefield 49, welcome. So, I mean, I think it just all depends on what you're really looking at the end of the day. You know, it's one of those things that you do have to look at it. It is an investment, I will say that. New Showboat player gear is an investment. Well worth it. Well worth it at the end of the day. All right. So let's talk about what we're going to, who we can use and some setups we can use this weekend when we start talking Showdown. Okay? And I'm going to cheat here and pull the blog back up. Hey, appreciate you joining us here, Hope. This is a classroom talk. What we're doing is just going through some gameplay, looking at how to build some superstars that you're going to need this weekend for the tours and all that. So, you know, we usually do some gameplay, usually live for feuds and all the big events. So this is just kind of like a classroom talk right now. Mainly guys to use, free-to-play players who are really good, that kind of stuff. Also, a little bit more Q&A as well. So any questions you guys have, you're more than welcome to ask it. If I don't have the answer for you right now, I will get the answer. So let's talk about the Showdown here. Legends Era and the perks. So Legend Era is going to get 100% HP. $1 million Corp is going to get 50% all gem damage. New Gen Era is going to get 100% power gem damage, and Powerhouse is going to get yellow gem damage up to 75%. That's for the Showdown tomorrow. So if you're looking at that, and it is going to be a men's men. So we're looking at that. Let's go straight to the Legends Era here. Because I feel like that's an era that A, just doesn't get a lot of look at, and B, we don't get enough cards of them to really be like, hey, yeah, let's go. We're really excited about Legends Era. But there are a few cards that you can use this weekend that's going to be really good for Showdown. So, knowing that yellow gems get a boost on the Powerhouse end, there's not really a lot of options there other than Clubber. So Clubber would be a good option. He's also going to get 100% HP. It's just going to take you a while with him. He's not one of my favorites. He's one. I've got a buddy who thinks he's the best. Hogan's going to be really good. Roman Reigns, Rockin' Reigns. I love this card. Because you load it up with moves damage and it's pretty much done. Especially with the X-Break gems. Because you can run a cross-break gem system if you really wanted to. So there's a lot of ways that you can run him. I run him this way, love him. Easy wins with him because of the move damage. Kevin Owens, another great one. So that's another one that you could run that'd be really good. You're going to want to run him triple red. But he's another great option there. And we're actually going to go into him as a free-to-play guy to use, going forward as someone who could be really good. Especially if you get the new plate with the red reinforced gem as a free-to-play guy. He is someone who I think who could do some really good damage at the end of the day. Now, guys that you're going to need. Obviously, any new gen is going to get you points. Any dealing damage with Hogan's going to get you points. So having Powerhouse Hogan's going to really work. Another one, if you got him up high enough, I've only got him at 5 gold, is Santa Hogan. He's always someone who could do really well in this type of an event. 80s Reigns, Clubber. You can even get away a little bit with Honky Tonk Man, even though I'm not the biggest fan of him. Jesse the Body would obviously be really good too. So there are a lot of options there when it comes to that. You also got to look at your new gen guys. Now, power gems with new gen are going to be where you kind of play it at. The one that comes to my mind, right off the bat, is going to be Turtle Kofi. He was given out free during the Turtle event. I don't know. I know some people didn't play that event, but he is one that could be really good with the power gems. You would just have to run him green, green, yellow. That's someone that could be really good there. Another new gen guy that you're going to need just because of the faction event. So you can kind of double dip here. Would be 80s Rollins, because you are going to need to do black gems, trap gems, and multi gems. So Rollins does cover that area with the trap gems there. And the 21 into black. Now, I've only got mine at silver. Someone else you could use for that really easily. You won't be able to kind of get away with it more, and it won't count towards your solo, would be Ozzy. Ozzy would be really good for Showdown. I run my Ozzy normally black, red with a radical plate and the black barber's plate. So that's someone you could use as well. That'd be really good for this weekend. So, when you're talking Showdown setups, you want to kind of balance it, I guess is what you would say. When you talk about your solo versus your faction, most factions do put a 1% thing on, so that's something to look at as well. In fact, I've actually got to set our minimums for our faction here real quick. That has not been done yet. Give me 1 second. I believe the max is 120. Yep. So, that's just stuff you got to look at there when you really want to look at all this at the end of the day. So I try to balance mine by getting my faction stuff done first and then solos. But I try to maximize it as far as what I can do to both. When it comes to $1 Million Corporation, that one is going to be harder, I think. I'm looking at one here, hoping he has the gear or link, but he doesn't. So when you talk $1 Million Corporation, you're talking MDM, those kind of things, and that's really what you're really looking at the end of the day there. And I'm not, 100% sure if, who those are going to be till tomorrow. Just because I don't know what those are going to look like. And then anyone who does multi-gems, I think that's going to look really well for you too. Well, you can look at the $1 Million Corporation right now. as far as who those guys are going to be. Let me go in here to normal. Even though it says you had to use $1 million corporation, it doesn't look like that's the case unless it's on the challenge store. No, so I don't really know right off the top of my head who the $1 million corporations are going to be. So that's something to look at as well. Will Puzz, appreciate the subscription, man. Thanks, man. How's it going? So, I mean, you got those are the kind of things that you got to look at with it. I don't know how to explain the balancing on it. It's just something I've developed over the years. You know, where you're trying to play both. I think I do. Usually you can get more energy during the tour, so I'll do the first set of tours focusing just on the faction, and then I'll do the second set after I do the tour, second set of energy focusing on myself. And then once I kind of hit that limit where I know, okay, I don't have these guys, or I don't have this, I don't have that, that's when I kind of go into, hey, appreciate it, man. That's when I kind of go into just faction only. So that's my showdown recommendations. You know, at the end of the day, I don't know how some of the long time, other OGs play it, but that's how I play it. You know, where the first set of energy will be for the faction, the second set of energy will be for the showdown for myself, and then after that, once I hit my limit, that's where I kind of go. You know, so you kind of it is that mixed feeling there. Especially with the way they've set up everything. I feel like you're not going to be able to get certain things without faction. So if we're looking at the faction contest here, there's a bunch of solo points in here. And 20 Bundy shards. Now, those are the only 20 Bundy shards they're given in the faction contest. But if you look at the solo points by themselves, I mean, it's 2 million solo points. So you want to be able to grab those as easily as possible. Doing the tours today is a big thing, too, because you're getting double the points, which, obviously will help you and your faction at the end of the day. So that's something to look at as well. I think it's something to consider at the end of the day. Let's break down some builds real quick for the tours for the rest of the weekend. So Saturday, you got the Ladder Queens. This one's pretty cut and dry. I do feel like if you don't have them, you're kind of hurting here. Obviously, Tiffy, Triple Blue, if you don't have the Timeless Plate. If you do have the Timeless Plate, I run it Purple Finisher. That's just how I run it. Striker Naomi is another one. This one's pretty cut and dry. I think it's triple green, especially with the glow plate. And they've been throwing out glow plates like no others here lately. And then the other one's Io Sky. I don't know how well attainable she is. I've had her since the first weekend, so maybe someone in the chat can tell me if she's really attainable or not. I don't know at the end of the day if she's attainable or how attainable she is. I just know she's someone that you're going to need, and I run her. Trying to think here. It's been so long since I use her because I never use her anymore. Blue, green. That's how I run her. But like I said, if the chat has something else there, if she's attainable, then that's great. Fish Can't Swim, welcome, man. I'm just not 100% sure how attainable she really is at the end of the day. So take that with a grain of salt on that when it comes to that. So that's something to look at there. Also, Raquel Rodriguez. You're going to need her for Sunday as well, or for Saturday. You're going to need Niven, which I've done videos on her for Sunday. You're going to need Twisted Bliss, Niven, or Nia Jax. I feel like those of us who have Twisted Bliss know how to run her as Triple Purple. Niven, I've done videos on. I think she's really good. And then you've got, also on Sunday, you're going to need $1 Million Corporation Bam Bam Bigelow, the True Giant of Wrestling Andre, Omos the Colossus, and Final Boss Rock. Final Boss Rock's free to play. They gave him out during WrestleMania tours. It's triple yellow for me on that one. You know, Will, I thought that too. The problem I have with Io is I've had her since day one. So it's kind of been one of those situations when you've had someone so long, you've had them since day one, you really don't know how attainable they are at the end of the day. So that's something I look at. When speaking. And for me, she was going to go gold. And then, you know, Tiffy came out. Indy came out. Rhea came out. Liver came out. And to me, she just got pushed down the list. If you want my honest opinion, I think she's just a coach. She's just a coach right now. I don't think she's really that great when it comes to a card itself. But I could be wrong. But that's just my opinion. We'll be right back. If you guys have subscribed, you don't get to watch, you don't get ads. I'll be right here. But we are going to run an ad real quick. Three to 4 months. Well, if you're in the Discord server, let me know. Um, and then I can add you to the stuff that we're going to do with there. I wanted to do like live streams of events and all that. Raw is kind of hard because of Netflix, but I know I can do like the PLEs and all that. So that's something I'm doing for my subscribers. We'll do live streams of the pay-per-views inside the Discord server. So if you're in the Discord server, let me know and I'll get you that sub or that thing there. Okay. All right, guys. So we're back. So here's what we're gonna do. I've got some free to play superstars that I think are great cards at the end of the day that I think people don't bring up. Um, with the first one that we're gonna look at today is who I think slept on because I think you need her as a coach at the minimum, but I think she slept on is this Jersey Wildcat Liv Morgan. Um, I think as a card, she's really good. You're obviously not going to be able to use her against Piper Niven, but as a card, she's really good. Now, I run her this way, which is the Jumping Insecurity, the Diving Bulldog, and the Hurricane Rana. The Hurricane Rana is just there just to kind of set her up, and then I never use it again. And then coaches and trainers, I try to keep it simple as far as what you need there. So, other than Z Liv, who I know is really rare, but you can use just about anyone if you wanted to with that. But I love my Z Liv there. Bailey works there if you want to just go flat gem, or you can go Boogeyman. And let me find my Boogeyman here. I think that's the problem when you get to such a high talent level and card level. You're just trying to find it. But this right here is just a simple build. She'll do some damage. Some great damage. Now, I got an affiliation strap on her, so it's not the greatest. I got an affiliation strap just because she is a great coach. You can put a gem damage belt on her if you wanted to, running Fury 3. But she is going to hit. She is one of those, and she's going to heal herself too. And I think that's where you got to look at it from every angle possible because she's one who could hit as well at the end of the day. So it is someone that you want to look at. Let's go do some gameplay with her real quick with this setup. And again, as a free-to-play person, if this is I know some of you guys are free-to-play. This is one of those that I feel like gets underlooked a lot of times than they probably shouldn't. So let's go in here. Let's do a match with her here. Now this is no belts. Again, because I have an affiliation strap on her, I'm not gonna run a belt with her. She does fit that legend. She does not fit that Legends era. She is fitting that New Gen era. But this is no belt. And this is what I think you got to look at it when you're looking at it with her. As far as how to proceed. Because to me, she's a great. At the worst, you need her as a coach. At the very worst, +2 green MP, +2 multiplier. But when you hit with her here, again, this is no belt on her, just straight damage. She hits for 16 million. Now you get a good belt on that, you can bring that up to 30, 35 million, which is why I think she makes a great free-to-play thing. She also has a sub-reversal with this setup, and I think that's where a lot of people don't look at it. When, especially on the female end, there's not a lot of sub-reversals, and us OG players, we remember the sub people very well from the old days on the female end. So that's something you've got to look at too. And that's something that I think why she's really good card that you could use as a free-to-play player. Like I said, she's going to heal herself, which obviously helps you when you're talking damage taken, whatever. All that plays into her. Will Buzz, the Trick Mellow sub. Yep. Remember how we used to always, it seemed like all the damn escape artist plays were always on the females just because of her. Trick Mellow sub, the Lanas, and the Icons of WrestleMania Flares I thought were the worst. That was all you saw during a female feud back in the day. So, again, it's just someone I think you could really use there as a good sub-reversal. I feel like we don't have that on the female end as much, a good sub-reversal. We have a lot of multiply reversals because I feel like that's where the females have gone. Another one. Now, this is the one that I feel like a lot of people have asked me about, especially, here lately. Kevin Owens' greatest hits. I do feel like he is not the greatest option. I feel like Jesse, the body, would be a better option. But I think it's plate dependent at the end of the day. And I say that in all honesty. I think it's plate dependent at the end of the day. How you want to run that. Look, that sub was so OP. And then she put the trap gems down where you were going to have to, break them to refill her sub anyway. So that sub was so OP. This is what I'm going to say for my free-to-play players out there. Jesse or KO is going to be your better options. And it's all really going to depend on plays. If you happen to get this red Showboat plate, I think you're going to be in really good hands. If you don't, and you get the purple, I think Jesse's the way to go. I just think that you've got different options. Because you're going to break a lot of gems this way. I do feel like with Showboat KO, you do need the Bulldog medallions. Now, again, I feel like those are so common, it's not funny. Now, I would run this Armor 2s on the belt. Just because I feel like that's the way to go here. Because of the damage you're going to do. If you can make it red moves, you're better off that way. But yeah, I think all Will. I don't know about you, Nuke. I don't know about you, but I feel like all of us OG players still have nightmares about Trick Mella and Icons of WrestleMania Flair. And I'm honestly hoping they never do another. They never go back to move damage because then Icons of WrestleMania Flair would just be nasty. Now, how I would run this would be right here. It's a pretty simple setup in my opinion. if I could find them here. I know I got an affiliation strap on them. This is how I would run KO, personally. Or not, yeah, Showboat KO. Butch, then Hall of Fame Yoko, and Karrion Kross. It's one of those things that I feel like you kind of need to run him that way. Now, mine's at silver, so we will see how well this goes over. So you're going to turn the bottom 5 rows into reinforced gems, which is going to activate our plate. And then we're choosing 7 gems to turn into yellow gems. Again, he's one that you're also going to be able to use this weekend that I think is going to be really good. Now, I know he gets a little bit better at gold, but this is where the armor 2 plates come in because it can't kick out. I've also got a 100% gem defense belt on them. So, to me, it's turn 1. It works really well. Like I said, I think it's a plate thing at the end of the day when you're talking that Legends era kind of thing. Let me look at who else I had here because I actually came prepared today. Another one who I think, and I'm glad they actually brought this up here, someone they gave out 3 this weekend, who I think you could do some really good damage with. And they gave them out for free. And I'm honestly surprised they gave them out for free. The Great Khali. That is one I am very shocked they gave away for free. But if you want my honest opinion, I don't think you can go wrong with him as a superstar. Just trying to find a match that will allow me to do this. Acro required. Acro required. Let's go here to normal. Maybe I can find the match I'm looking for. 6-star, okay. If I could spell today, that would be great. So the Pujami Giant. I think for a free-to-play character, this is a guy you've got to have built up. This is just my personal opinion. No one else's, but this is a guy that I feel like you have to have built up at the end of the day. Now, all I got is an affiliation strap for him. So you're not going to see a big damage thing here, but I just feel like he is a guy you've got to have built up at the end of the day. So, the first thing is you're going to make 20 random gems into trap gems. But the purple barber's plate would work great on him. And then we're just going to break purple gems here after we increase. Now, without a doubt, that first move is going to do about 3 million. When he subs is where it's going to suck. And this is why I hate going to get subs. Because I feel like it's just not fair in a way. That is just my opinion. But when I'm going against subs, I always try to keep something there to kind of help me re-engage here at the end of the day. Because this is where I think Khali can become really good. if you play it right. Now with the subs, we're going to turn 21 random gems into red gems here. And that's going to activate a big thing. You're not really looking to sub them out. You're just looking for the damage at the end of the day. And that's where I think it gets really good really quick here. Because he's a turn 2 stack. And if you do sub them, hey, great. I think that's another way to look at it. If you can sub them, great. Great, great, great. I don't really play it for the sub, I play it for the gem damage. But again, another free to play guy that just, man. Especially since they gave him out for free this week. Get him up. He's a PG era. Everyone's always complaining they don't have good PG eras. He's a great PG era guy that I think anyone could use and be happy with. Now that I got him at 200, I'm not going to hit that sub. I'm just going to hit that right there, and that should end this match pretty easily. And that's how I run Kali. Again, these are just 3 free-to-play guys that I think, with the right builds, could do some damage. It's also 3 guys I don't necessarily use a lot, but not going to ever discount what they can and can't do. So I'm going to... I'm going to open up the floor here. If you guys in the chat have anybody you want to see run, how I would run them, what I think, go ahead and post it. It is kind of getting a little late, so, I know it's Friday night. Everyone wants to have some fun. But, yeah, I'm going to let you guys see if you guys have any questions here. If not, we'll end the stream. If you do, we'll sit here and we'll discuss it. All right, not really seeing anyone typing here. All right, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Have a great night. We'll be live tomorrow for Showdown right at 2 o'clock.